These days, martial arts seem to be everywhere. Everywhere except in a big theatrical production. Jazz composer Fred Ho's production of Journey Beyond the West, recently seen at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, might just change all that. Let's go to rehearsal and see what it's all about.
Journey Beyond the West is the name of this new adaptation of the original story, The Monkey King. This is basically based loosely on a Peking opera. It's one of the most famous operas in China. And Mr. Fred Ho, the guy who wrote this whole piece, he took the concept of this story and added another chapter to the story. And what he did is he incorporated a lot of Afro-American and Asian nuances of music and merged them together to create a play.
I wanted to create a revolutionary action-adventure, fantasy, allegorical story that appealed to children as well as adults, that would push all the boundaries of the performing arts, that would combine, in my vision, many different dance forms with martial arts. That would be like a living comic book, and something that would be totally driven by the musical score, that was not bound by text, but yet the story would be crystal clear. So I wanted to do something that also would convey a Chinese-American consciousness and aesthetic, something that conveys who I am through music and the performing arts. And I chose this particular classic adventure story, from China, Journey to the West, but I revisioned it, have retitled it Journey Beyond the West, The New Adventures of Monkey.
So the idea behind the concept was to take the martial arts and put it in the forefront where it's never really been done before. With Peking opera, I think Peking opera has this element of martial arts, but this was actually putting martial arts and incorporating it with traditional and more contemporary forms of dance. Just mixing that up. And you had dancers who were not martial artists that had to actually learn how to fight and tell a story with their bodies.
When I was watching them rehearsing, I realized how disciplined their style of movement is compared to dancing. It's not a major difference, but in dancing we have a freedom that's going on. They don't have a freedom because each movement means something. And then I realized how unique and how exciting. So when they asked me to do this particular part in the fight scene with a martial arts professional, I was a little intimidated. So then I realized that I need to think about what I do. I'm a dancer, I know quick movement, and I realized that use my quick movement and be confident and work with them, it all falls into place.
Yeah, these ladies are a trip, man. Why? Because they are technically, they're proficient. They are scientists at what they do. So when you ask them to perform like an eagle claw grab, they do it with such intensity, I feel as if I'm fighting another martial artist.
I work closely with the dance choreographer, John Carafa, and a lot of the cast members who all had input in terms of how we wanted to piece this together. And then I basically looked at it and worked out all the martial, elements of it to make sure that they had the martial arts integrity of what the martial discipline should represent. Even though there's a lot of dance choreographed within the martial arts, I tried to maintain not a separation, but a distinctiveness where the martial arts itself can really stand out as martial arts. Any martial artist that would come to see this, I want them to be very familiar with the presentation's quality in terms of how the fighting came off and how it combined really well with the music.
So what I've done was sort of like learned each person's vocabulary, what the strengths were in that style, what were the weaknesses, and what kind of dramatic stuff you can convey with that style of movement, and then just start to assemble it. And really, if you put the guys in the situation and say, well, what would you do here? They come up with the movement themselves.
Here we have a piece where we have people that have pure martial arts background, we have people that have pure acting background, people that have extensive dance background, and we're trying to harmonize them. It's had its rough moments thus far because we're literally creating a style of performing, a style of telling a story.
Fred Ho has changed the dynamics of this Monkey King style. He gave it a hip-hop kind of Western Asian swing to it. That's the difference that I see.
And it's kind of, I would say, the premiere, or the first time I think martial arts has really been put in the forefront of a production where it's like kind of like the Majestic Theater is kind of a ritzy place at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, and it's nice to see martial arts actually ending up on a theatrical note.